Welcome to Gerald Khalil's Conversation Piece. I share my thoughts on social content, sports, politics, and entertainment. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So, it's been months, I think, the last time I've done a Browns video, right? They have not given me anything to make me excited enough to make a video or anything interesting enough. You know, you have the whole draft situation with Shedeur Sanders. You have the Deshaun Watson fiasco. Then you have Stefanski, Barry, Haslam. Everything's been pretty much dour news, right? But today, they gave me something to feel good about as a Browns fan. And they brought back a winner. And that winner, Joe Flacco. You remember him, right? Well, he's re-signed with the Browns for a year for the 2025 season. And that is just great news. I'm happy. I feel good about Flacco. I mean, understanding that he is 40 years old, but that's not the point. The point is he can play. And the Browns need personnel that can play. So when I found out that they signed him, I said, all right, now I'm feeling better about the team. I'm feeling better about the draft coming up. And the good, you know, we get a person who's familiar with the team, with the city, and with the fans, right? Fans are pretty much majority of the fans are going to be happy. I'm a fan. I'm happy that he's back. Also, it takes pressure off of who the Browns are going to draft, right? I think at this point, QB drafting a quarterback at 2 is unlikely. Yes, you still need a quarterback, but now you have Joe Flacco along with Kenny Pickett. The team can now go, it has more freedom to go into a different direction as far as the draft is concerned. So let's take the scenario here. And these are just scenarios. I'm not saying that I'm at this point, I want this to happen, but let's take a look at these scenarios here. So we have at 2, the Browns could draft Shedeur Sanders. And why? He's a pocket passer. And he could sit and look at Joe Flacco for a year or for most of the year and learn from Flacco. Flacco's a winner. He's a Super Bowl champion. And that would be a great thing for Shedeur for his development. Now, that's if they go that route. Another route that they can take, they can go, and I will say one that I'm pretty much favoring is that Travis Hunter, right? So you think they go that route there, and they draft Travis, and you have Flacco as your quarterback, because I'm assuming he's going to beat out Kenny Pickett. You have Judy on the other side, and you have Njoku. Because if you remember when Flacco was quarterbacking, Njoku was looking like all-world tight end. He was all-pro. He was playing like an all-pro tight end. So I know he's going to be happy. Jerry Jeudy will definitely be happy because he's getting another Jameis Winston, per se, who doesn't throw as many interceptions, and someone who's a champion, like I say that again, and that, you know, I think that is a good amount of weaponry to have Njoku, Judy, and Travis Hunter. Right, and you still have Cedric Tillman. We want to forget about him also. So I think that would look pretty good, right? So, and then after that, you can get your quarterback either in the second round, or if you want to trade up back in the first round and get a quarterback, you could do that. So I don't think at this point, I don't think Shedeur will be there at where the Browns will pick, because even if they trade back up into the first round, it'll probably be in the low 20s, maybe mid to low 20s. If they want Shedeur, they'll probably have to go up to, say, 15. And that's if he falls that far, right? Because reports are that he's going to probably fall at 9 if he does drop. So we have to see about that. So that's something that the Browns could do. Trade back up. So then you have yourself your quarterback. And they don't have to even go with Shedeur. And I don't know. And the reason why I only mention him, I don't know if Jackson Dart is going to be available, because word is that he may go before Shedeur. He just may. So we don't know if Jackson Dart is going to be available. There's Shook. He'll probably be available, and Jason and Milroe, he'll be available. So even if they did that scenario and they happen to get Milroe or Shook as a quarterback, personally, I would be happy. I would be like, okay, fine. We got Travis because he's a playmaker. All Browns fans know we need playmakers on this team. Then, okay, you got your quarterback, though, for a year. You can get your quarterback in the draft, and he can learn from Flacco. And you'll have 3-4 happy receivers, because you have somebody who can get the ball out to you. So that's one thing. She'll win more than 3 games, right? So I'm looking at it like this. The schedule is kind of tough, but I think you can win 7-8 games with Flacco if he stays healthy, right? And, and I didn't mention the stats of Flacco. He threw for 13 touchdowns when he was with the Browns. He did have 8 picks. That's part of the bad. But he threw for over 1,600 yards while he played. And he, how many games did he play? About 6 maybe. He flamed out in the playoffs against Houston. But hey, it is what it is at this point. Would I take that? Yeah, I would take that. After last year, that disaster, no question. The bad is that Flacco, he's 40 years old. And you got to wonder how it will position you for next year. So you figure, going with my predictions, if they win 7 or 8 games, and say, for instance, that the quarterback you picked in the draft doesn't work out, that means you're back to where you need a quarterback, right? So that's where, you still have a lot of folks saying, hey, just get that quarterback at 2, which, I understand. So if you are, say, 7-10, 8-9, how you need more draft capital to trade up, because that's what you're going to need to do for 2026, and you're going to want to be in the top 5 to get a decent quarterback. So that's the con side to all of this. But again, you figure, man, you want to win, and Stefanski, Barry, they know what time it is. they got to win, because if they come up with another 3-win season, they'll be out. They definitely be out, because they're going to have to get that product together, because you have that stadium coming in, maybe 4 years, and you need to sell some tickets. So they got to get there. They know what time it is, so they have to get their act together and get this ship floating right. So basically, my opinion on what I think the Browns should do, based on the new Joe Flacco news here, is I would go with Travis Hunter. Get that talent. Now, other people are talking also. I want to mention this. Other folks are saying, draft a kid out of Penn State, Abdul Carter, and I understand you want to get him to line up with Myles Garrett. Definitely understand that. But again, and I can't, and I'm not going to say that Carter can't be a playmaker on the defensive side, but I think the Browns need some offense. And I think that their first 3 picks in the draft should be all offense. Put some points on the board, be a threat at least, right? But I think Travis Hunter is the better pick, right? You get yourself a receiver / corner, right? Someone who can, play both sides of the ball. That's unique. And it's not saying that he will play that like that all the time, but I think it'll be good for him to get some work as a corner to spell Denzel Ward. Because, Denzel Ward, I said this in the past, that Denzel Ward is maybe a concussion or 2 away from being out of this league. You don't know, right? So I think that will be a good move there. And then get your quarterback later. All right? Shook, if he's available. Milroe, I think he'll be available. Finally, Browns fans, we got something a little to look forward to. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.